From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Out and About Today. Sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and welcome to a special edition of Out and About Today. We're in conversation with Nicole Serrano, the much in-demand singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist. First made a name for herself in Christian music, and lately has expanded her career to include alternative pop and soul. You've heard her voice and songs featured on numerous TV shows, including Grey's Anatomy, The Good Doctor, and Selling Sunset. Nicole made headlines when she recently came out and told her truth on Good Morning America. Take a look.
Down in Nashville, Christian singer Nicole Serrano, raised as a preacher's daughter, is still on her road to self-acceptance.
I am a gay woman. I've learned to embrace myself and learn to accept all the things that I worked so hard and so long to change.
Wow. Welcome, friend.
Hi, good to see you.
It is so good to see you. So we've got a lot to talk about. You've had an amazing career. You've had an amazing coming out. But I have to ask you, when you did come out, that's on national television. So what happened the day after?
The day after, I crashed pretty hard. I was always scared of like the trolls online and just the fallout, you know, because a lot of people aren't okay with people like us sometimes. And but I quickly realized that the people who did know me loved me and supported me way more than I expected. So the Joes in Utah didn't really like hold any weight with their words. So it was overwhelming love, overwhelming support.
Were you surprised?
100%. Yes, especially starting out in Christian music. I thought people would be a lot more ugly, but I'm very lucky that that wasn't the case for me.
So let's kind of go back to childhood. So when did you realize that you might be the way you are?
I was 3. I was in preschool, which is terrifying for parents, I'm sure. Like, you think this little kid just is playing with dolls or doing whatever, like, but I had this full awareness that I was different, and I noticed I liked the girls in my class and in a different way, but I felt like I wasn't supposed to say anything. So yeah, it's been an early childhood experience and knowing of myself.
Well, even as you progressed through adolescence, were you able to share this with anybody?
I had moments of like talking to my youth pastors, or, you know, I was always involved in youth groups, so I always reached out to leadership, because unfortunately I heard the message that like, if you're a homosexual, if you act on it, you'll go to hell. And so I was very tormented through most of my life, and I didn't want to go to hell. Who does? So yeah, there were a couple moments of reaching out, but ultimately I got the message: just keep praying and keep doing good, and don't focus on those teammates or don't focus on whatever. Just kind of get rid of the temptation, which never worked.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New York.
And community around you, was it accepting? I mean, I know you hid things, but
yeah.
Did you feel that if you didn't hide things would not go well?
Not accepting. I don't think I met a gay person until I went to college. So yeah, didn't see anybody out, didn't see any example of what a gay person even looks like, and so that was a big part of why I chose to come out so publicly for a private person too.
Well, and it's interesting too, though, you eventually make your way into Christian music. So kind of tell me how that journey started and how it led there.
It was pretty natural. My dad, he was a pastor, and he also was always the worship leader wherever we ended up as a church. And I'm very thankful for him, because he kind of pushed me out of my shy little shell, and he shoved a microphone in my mouth and was like, "You could sing, I heard you." So I always was involved in like leading worship and playing guitar and playing drums, whatever instrument was on the stage, and it just kind of naturally became a path for me. So whenever I left, you know, would go to college, I knew I could work at a church and pay my bills, and I was also very, very genuine and very like committed to the church community, and so it was never just like I'm gonna make money, but it was something that just made sense, you know.
Was there a conflict thinking, okay, I know how I feel inside, and I know what a lot of people say about the Bible and how they'll use it as a weapon. So was there an internal conflict even in the early days?
Oh, for sure. I just never saw it coming out as an option. Like, I never thought I would. I thought I just had to find that one boy who would change everything, and I was very committed to that because I thought that was what God wanted, you know. So it was a continual conflict, but it wasn't, there was no other way in my mind.
That's so interesting because I did the same thing growing up. You know, I was always thinking there's going to be that one girl it's going to feel fine or something, you know, and God's just going to wave a little wand and everything's going to be okay. So it doesn't always happen like that.
Does not.
Okay, so when it was time to really pursue Christian music, did you just go full force?
No, I never did. I always annoyed the labels and the A&R people and the publishers who were trying to help me, you know, start my own career, and I just never felt like I fit in the CCM Christian box. It was mainly the music. I was like, I grew up on a little more soul, and I just hear kind of one thing being done, and so that was the main thing that kept me not wanting to be a Christian artist. But worship was different because it's not about you. It's not about you. But yeah, it was always an internal struggle of like, how do I do this music thing authentically?
Right. Okay, well, we have to take a short break, but when we come back, what's life like now for Nicole, living out loud? You're watching Out and About Today.